It's time to swarm the 402. Welcome to the Nebraska Hawkeyes. These guys are brave. They're Hawkeyes living in enemy territory. Listen, these guys are way past their prime, but they're still Hawkeyes. They're spreading the Hawkeye hype to all of Nebraska. The frost advisory is canceled. Corn huskers, more like corn suckers. Are you ready for this podcast? Let's go Hawks!
All right, welcome back to the Nebraska Hawk's Nest, your Hawkeye oasis located in a nasty little Nebraska desert. It's time for another Swarm 402 podcast. We are missing Russell the Muscle tonight, but we came back with some extreme firepower. We got Kyle Schlicher, the man, the myth, the legend, back again for another Swarm the 402 podcast. And joining us today, friend of the show, one of our all-time favorite Hawkeyes,
Kid Rock.
Pat Anger, a.k.a. Kid Rock. How's it going, Pat?
Hey, what's up, guys? How you guys doing?
Good, man. Looking good. It's good to see you again, man.
I apologize. This damn thing keeps freezing up, so if I cut out, I apologize. No, I look like shit. I'm fat. I got bags under my eyes. Hiding in my garage away from my family.
That's me, Pat. That's Pete. Look at your photo. That's me.
I can see Kyle's also hiding in his basement.
I was in my garage. I'm afraid I'm going to wake up my kids.
Yeah, you don't want that. That's for sure.
No, that's why we do this podcast so late. Everybody's got kids. Go ahead, Pat.
How many kids you got, Kyle?
I got two, man. I got a 5-year-old boy, Griffin, and 8-year-old girl, Sophia.
Man.
Yeah.
Good man.
You got quite the boy storm over there. You're like,
what'd you say?
You've got quite the boy storm. Don't you have, what, 3?
I got 2. And
two
then
boys?
once my testosterone dropped, then my third one she was a girl. Yeah.
I love it. Well, hey, it's great. We're able to have a reunion with 2 former teammates here. Pat Anger and Kyle Schlicher. This is awesome. Just for huge Hawkeye fans. I know everybody out there is going to be geeking out when they get to see these 2 guys here. So this is freaking awesome. We're going to just recap real quick where we were from last week. Matt had a strong week, finished 6-1 with his picks. Really great week. So he's overall to 66.6% winning percentage. Russell the Muscle, who's out this week, he's going to send us his picks in. He was 6-1 last week. He has a 68.9% winning percentage on the season. And Jerry, man, just bringing up the rear again. Old Gerald, you got 3-4 last week at 47%. If you're going to Vegas, don't bet on Jerry. And then last week, Kyle was 4-3 again, so he's at a 57% winning percentage. So Jerry's one of those guys, though, that slow and steady wins the race. I think he might sneak in there at the end and pull this thing out.
I think the story here is Jerry has a life and nobody else does. So just take that for what it's worth. So,
well, let's talk about what kind of life that entails. And
I'm doing a lot better than I thought because remember, I'm picking everything off of pure emotion.
Pure emotion. Hey, that's okay. We're gonna see how Pat does this week, and so Jerry is actually we're gonna do a quick little rundown because we always like to find out a little bit of where in the world is Jerry? What's going on with Jerry right now? That's one of our favorite things on the show here, and Jerry is a little too young for this, in my opinion, but he's touring some senior living facilities, looking for the future, seeing about what the future holds. And we were able to, our research team connected with some of these living facilities and got some pictures of Jerry interacting with the local residents.
Oh, nice. That's cute. How do you find sweaters like that?
I don't know.
That was a great day. That was a wonderful day, guys.
You look good in that turtleneck, Jerry. And then we got.
I'll tell you that right now.
We pulled one other one here, Jerry, participating in another senior activity. So.
Hey, that's my shuffleboard team. Don't knock on my shuffleboard team. We're undefeated so far.
Jerry looks a little red there. Maybe he's had a few too many bush lights at the senior living facility there. But
you got to get primed for shuffleboard, boys. So.
You be careful, Jerry. They say those are there's a lot of STDs in those old folks' homes. So be careful. I don't know if you've been vaccinated or not, but you better watch.
I've actually heard that too. So
what happens in assisted living does not stay at assisted living.
No, you take that shit with you. Oh man, I mean, think about it. You're in assisted living, like it's time to cut loose and have a good time, apparently. Yeah. So, and that's why Jerry's there. He wants to test drive it before he buys it.
Yeah. Wash your hands, Jerry.
Jerry, all right. Jerry, we love you. We love you, buddy. And
my environment is different. I did get called over to Des Moines. Dad had a little scare today, but we're doing good tonight. But in all seriousness, one of the walls they've got over here in this facility is a veterans wall. And as we record this, it's Wednesday night. Tomorrow, Thursday is Veterans Day. So big thank you out to our vets out there. I mean, sir.
Absolutely.
No bigger calling than
definitely.
That. So we joke around and have a lot of fun on this, but we can only do it because of the sacrifice so many veterans made for us. So it's time to give them a shout out as well. So
absolutely, well said, Jerry. And
good call.
Pat's rocking the USA hat, very fitting. So
there you go.
We wouldn't be able to do ridiculous stuff like this if it wasn't for them. So they make all of it possible for us. All right, guys. Moving on to our first game that we're going to be calling. We got Michigan going to Penn State. I think this is going to be kind of a good one. Michigan 8-1 right now. Jim Harbaugh's really needing to come out and get a statement win. Jim Harbaugh's been winning all the games he's supposed to win. The big time games he's been falling short very consistently. At 6-3 Penn State in Happy Valley. Now, Cade McNamara for Michigan has been having a season. He's thrown for 1,666 yards and 62.5% completion percentage. Matt Meyer, what are your thoughts on this? Michigan is favored. It's pretty much a pick 'em. Michigan's favored by 1.5 points. So really anything goes here.
Yeah, I've got Michigan on this one. Michigan's points allowed. The points allowed for both teams actually is 16, which is, that's pretty even up there in my opinion. Michigan puts up a lot of points compared to Penn State. And is Penn State focused? Are they still having head coaching controversy? I just don't think they're 100% there like they were at the beginning of the year when they were winning everything before they played Iowa. So I'm taking Michigan.
All right. Kyle? Matt is taking Michigan. Hassan Haskins has rushed for 829 yards this season for Michigan. He's having a great season. That Michigan offense is on fire. Mr. Kyle Schlicher, who are you taking in this one? Michigan at Penn State. It's a pick 'em. Either way, we got a close one.
Well, you guys know that I have a deep, deep hatred for Michigan. But you know what? Any other day, I'd take Penn State or anybody who's playing Michigan. I want them to lose, but I have a feeling this one's going to be Michigan's game as well. That's an intimidating place to walk into. I think it's more intimidating place to play at than, the big house. So, but either way, Michigan is rolling, and I'm picking Michigan on this one.
All right, Mr. Kid Rock, Pat Anger. We got 8-1 Michigan at 6-3 Penn State. It's a pick 'em. We only got a line of 1.5 in favor of Michigan. Pat, who you taking in this one? What are your thoughts?
Does Penn State still have that squirrely little fuck at quarterback?
I think
is it Clifford or?
I think
I believe
Jerry, is he out? I think he's out
Clifford?
again.
But the
Yeah.
backup's better than him, I think.
The one that gave us the game when we played him.
Yeah.
The one he took out.
If Clifford plays Penn State, if he doesn't, then Michigan.
All right, let's make note of that then. All right,
I'll be doing
Fair
that with all my picks.
It's totally fine. Hey, I don't think he's playing. I think he's injured again, but I could be wrong. They keep that close to the chest on that one. Jerry, who you taking in this one? Michigan at Penn State.
Penn State's had a couple close losses. I'm going on the assumption Clifford is playing. I think at home, I think they finally get Michigan. So I'm going to go ahead and buck the trend and go Penn State. So
Penn State's going to get it back. All right. A lot of people think James Franklin's got a foot out the door to USC. You never really know. There's so many conversations going on behind closed doors. You never know.
And hopefully he doesn't go to Michigan and show up at the big house based on his comments when they played Ohio State a couple weeks ago and he didn't know where the heck they were playing. So
yeah. Hopefully he gets on his Google Maps and figures out where the hell he's playing. So somebody's microwave dinner's done.
Sorry, it's my damn text message.
Salisbury steak or chicken nuggets, Pat?
Pat, that looks like
my wife's a big prepared meal. She's got her own business.
Nice.
So I'm just fatter and shit, just eating all kinds of food.
Just eating baked potatoes all day, every day.
Yeah, I'm sitting here in my weight room that I never used, but I just want people to know that I have a weight room.
Still?
Yeah, I still have a weight room. Don't use it.
You could live. You could live if you wanted to. That looks like a delicious glass of apple juice there. Could you tell us what brand that is you're drinking?
Oh, I got my favorite. I don't know if you guys. Well, shit, it's almost empty. Buffalo Trace.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, good stuff.
They sell it at one gas station around here, and me and my two buddies are the only ones I feel like that know. So every Tuesday you can buy Buffalo Trace there. But I'm not telling you guys where it is.
All right,
Good plan.
It's the best. Have you guys had it?
I have not.
It's the best.
Is it that good?
Yeah.
I may have to try it.
Yes. It's good stuff.
If I can find it.
not
I
picky,
don't know. That one gas station is going to be tough to locate. But.
Pat, just think if you were playing right now, you could get an NIL deal with Buffalo Trace right now. How cool would that be?
I'd work the Templeton Rye. I'd work that Templeton Rye route. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't
That's
think
still
Kirk,
number one.
Kirk wouldn't have a problem with that. He'd be cool with it.
Yeah, no shit.
He'd be sponsored by St. Pauli girl.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I love it. Oh, you guys are amazing. All right, guys. Next one, we got PJ Fleck in the 6-3 Minnesota Golden Gophers coming to Kinnick, 7-2 Iowa. Iowa rocking the number 10 total defense in the country, averaging 4.35 yards a play. Mr. Matty Ice, who you taking in this one? It looks like we got Iowa favored by 5.5 in this one. Game's going to be on BTN.
Yeah, so I guess all season long I really haven't swayed away from Iowa. I'm going to take Iowa again on this one. Points per game look pretty even on this one. Minnesota does allow a little more. I'm trying to read my notes here, and I took bad notes.
And doesn't it suck when your handwriting's so bad you can't even read it yourself?
Yeah, it's bad. I thought I could do this on the fly quick.
Hey, buddy, all we need to know is who you're picking. That is totally fine.
Yeah, but I had this whole thing, I was going to say some cool thing about, how the game was going to go. And
Oh, hey,
I mean, it essentially comes down, I got Iowa
all right.
covering the points. Yeah, Minnesota doesn't pass as much, so that might limit our turnovers. Iowa allows less than 100 yards rushing, and that's Minnesota's high point. I don't know. I guess I'm hoping that it's at home and Iowa can pull off this victory.
You sound like a fucking pro, dude. That sounded good.
Yeah, man. I mean, you left me satisfied.
Yeah.
So
put me on game day. Let's go.
I mean, you can't be worse than Lee Corso. I can say that.
That Bear guy's not that great either.
I'm telling you, this guy's like their expert picker, and he's picked like 25% correct. Like Jerry would put him to shame right now with what Jerry's done.
Jerry and the Senior Citizen Association.
Speaking of worse than Lee Corso, here's Jerry, right?
Yeah, coming to you live from Del Boca Vista. All right. All right, Kyle, we got Iowa. Minnesota's coming to town. Alex Padilla was able to get in the game last week, went 18 for 28 for 172 yards, getting first-team reps all week. A lot of people really felt like the team got injected with life when he came in the game. He was able to scramble, make some plays happen, and get some things going down the field, which in turn opened up the running game too. Weird, crazy that happened. Kyle, what are your thoughts on this game with Minnesota coming to town?
Well, they're coming off a big win. That was a must-win at Northwestern, which is a terrible place to play. They've got momentum. They're feeling great, and whoever the quarterback is, however many they rotate through, whatever, as long as everyone's feeling great and they've got good team chemistry, I'll always pick Iowa at home, no matter what. I always will, no matter what we're ranked or who we're playing. But in all seriousness, I do think this is going to be a great game, and Iowa's going to come out on top, and they're going to tack up another one on the W column.
All right, I like it. Mr. Pat Anger, we're playing for that big greasy pig called the Floyd of Rosedale. Are we going to be able to bring that hog home this week, you think?
Yeah, I'll take Iowa and the under, obviously. But the under's been hitting all year because nobody likes to score any touchdowns anymore. Yeah, I think PJ Fleck's a fucking weirdo, but
I agree.
We should win. Goddamn, we better. I mean, Jesus Christ, fuck.
Yeah, no, Pat.
That's my expert advice.
Play some offense.
Yeah.
Pat, how good did it feel beating Minnesota? And Kyle, you two, when you guys rush and are able to pick up the Floyd of Rosedale? Is that one of the best trophies and one of the ones you get the most excited to hold up?
Isn't that it's the heaviest, right?
It's
the heavy.
I think so.
Or is the Ballless Bull? Which one's the?
I don't know. That Heroes Game trophy is huge.
I feel like that one's the heaviest. If the Wisconsin one, what the hell's that one called? The
Heartland Trophy.
Yeah, but that one doesn't have any balls. If that had balls, and it would be heavier.
I was just gonna say they put up a massive Floyd of Rosedale in Fort Dodge, Iowa, because that's where the Rosedale farm was. I drive by it every day when I go to work to the office in Fort Dodge, and that thing has some massive steel balls. So judging by that, I'm 100% in agreement with that one being the heaviest because of
there's no balls on there. We need
balls.
If you go back to our Paulson twins interview, there were balls on it in the locker room one year after the victory. Remember that one?
Yeah. You can find Matt in Fort Dodge polishing the nuts of the bull.
The steel balls of the bull. It's a pig, man.
The pig. Nice and shiny. Oh, all right, Jerry. Who do you got in this one? We got Minnesota coming to Kinnick.
I got the Hawkeyes. I think we, it's for the pig. It's at home. It's they're honoring the '81 team, the Rose Bowl for the 40th anniversary. I think we got everything on our side, and Padilla got his reps in against one of the worst defenses in the Big Ten last week, and he's ready to step it up for the next one. So,
all right,
I'll take Iowa all day on this one.
All right. Well, for Minnesota, Tanner Morgan averages about 60% completion percentage, but he's only thrown 6 touchdowns and 7 interceptions this year. So I've looked him up quite a bit. I do that just out of like being nervous and wanting to know what we're going to be dealing with on Saturday. And if you pressure Tanner Morgan, he throws interceptions. And if he doesn't throw an interception, he throws them into about the 4th row of the stadium. So we will be fine.
Good thing we blitz a lot.
Yeah, right. When we do it, that works. But yeah, not a lot. Not a lot. I sense a little sarcasm there. All right.
A little.
Just a little bit. Next one up, we got 3-6 Northwestern. Pat Fitzgerald, he's going to be taking his crew to Madison, Wisconsin. 6-3 Wisconsin. This one's going to be on ESPN2. Wisconsin's favored by 25 on this one. Now, Wisconsin officially is now the number 1 defense in the country, only allowing 213 yards a game. 3.78 yards a game makes me sick. I hate Wisconsin. Matt, what is your pick on this one? Wisconsin favored by 25.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Wisconsin either. They've had our number. I hate it. I'd wish we'd be on the flip side of that. But Wisconsin D is tough. I mean, this thing could end up being 3-38 by the end. I got to take Wisconsin even with the points. Northwestern is just bad, and Wisconsin's got it put together right now. Their offense is rolling a lot better. They're playing the run game and the pass game a lot better than most teams in the West. So my gut's saying even with the points, take Wisconsin.
You know, Kyle, Wisconsin's linebacking core is one of the best, if not the best in the country. They're just unbelievably tough to play against. We really need Northwestern to come through for us to help us win the West. And I don't know if it's going to happen. Kyle, what do you think?
Well, I mean, Camp Randall, that's I never lost there, but that's a tough place to play. It's a fun place to play. But you know what? Even though I hate teams that play wearing the color purple, it's just not a cool color. I'm a Fitzgerald fan, man. I like that guy, and I'm pulling for Northwestern this game. I'm pulling for an upset.
All right, I like it. We got going out on a limb, Mr. Kyle Schlicher. All right, Kid Rock. 3-6 Northwestern at 6-3 Wisconsin. After you give us your pick, Pat, since we're kind of on it, we want you to tell us who that one team you just absolutely hated more than any other team when you played them. You just wanted to really put it to them a little bit more.
So, Schlicher, are you taking Northwestern money line? Or are you taking them plus the fucking 500 points or whatever?
Good question.
No.
Yeah.
You're just taking them to keep it under 25.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. That's safe.
Even though you hate purple.
Yeah. You know what? Well, hopefully they wear, white or black or something. The all purple, that drives me nuts.
They do have a blackout.
Now, Schlicher, did you, Kyle? Didn't you work with a guy that was a Navy SEAL? Did you know a guy that was a fullback?
Yeah, I actually. Before he even started that process, his name was Tommy Ruby.
Badass.
He was. Him and I worked together for about 2 years before he decided to go that route. And him and I, the gym that I was in charge of with Naval Special Warfare up there at the Great Lakes Naval Base, he came on as an instructor. He came from a SEAL team and did and got planted there as an instructor, and worked with him for about 2 years, and then he decided to do that. And he asked me, he was picking my brain on a lot of stuff on, I like to think that I had an integral part in pushing him to walk on, because he earned it all the way, man. That guy worked his ass off. It was, for me, it was awesome. And I remember there was a huge controversy, him still being active duty and doing that.
Yeah.
It was, for some reason, it was this big issue, and I thought it was awesome. But Tommy Ruby, good friend of mine. Yep.
No, weird. The NCAA makes something.
Was that on the Navy side that was giving him shit?
It was, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Navy side.
I didn't understand it because, well, see, Navy SEALs and the Naval Special Warfare community, they like you to be a quiet professional. They don't want you to advertise.
They all got fucking books. and
I know,
movies.
man. Hey, I know it's a huge deal.
Yeah.
And Tommy wasn't one of those guys. All Tommy wanted to do was get an education and hit people. That's all he wanted to do, man. He had this dream of playing, Division I football, and Northwestern happened to be the campus closest to the Navy base where he could fulfill his active duties as well as pursue a Division I football career. And that guy, dude, when he came in, oh man, I think he had experimented in some MMA fighting, I think. And he was a big dude, like, tats everywhere. I would say he's probably about 6 foot, 6'1", well over at the time, I think he was like 230 or 240. He was a big dude. And he worked his ass off. Like I would go to the gym at 5 a.m. and he'd be there already, like sweating.
Nice.
Yeah, it was good stuff. Really proud of him. And now, last time I saw him, he's like lost a ton of weight, and he's like really into yoga, and he's got longer hair, and he's living life, man.
Good for him. So he's out. He's completely out.
He is.
SEAL?
Yeah. During that whole process, he got out. That was the end of his career. So yeah, very proud of him for doing that. That was great.
Cool.
That's awesome.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'll take Northwestern because they support our troops. I'm like, obviously Wisconsin, apparently.
Yeah.
All right, go Cats. We got Pat picking Northwestern. That was an awesome story. Thanks for sharing that, guys.
That's awesome.
That was cool. All right, Jerry, who do you got in this one? Northwestern at Wisconsin, and Wisconsin's favored by 25.
If I take Wisconsin, I'm a big jerk after that story, so I'm going Northwestern too. So
I'm glad I went first.
Jeez.
Kind of un-American to not do that at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to get deported.
Take Wisconsin. You're not patriotic. You pick the bag, and I'll take Northwestern.
Man. All right, guys. Next one.
Can that be our
Go ahead.
Can that be our headline? Wisconsin unpatriotic. That's our way to get back up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab another beer real quick.
Absolutely. That's always a good excuse on this
excusable.
podcast. All right.
Give me one too.
Yeah. Pass it on through. All right. We got next one, 4-5 Rutgers stumbling lately at another team that has not had a very good season. Indiana.
Matt, where you at?
7. Ooh.
Yeah,
Matt,
boy.
hold on. Where's yours, Matt? There we go.
How much use is that treadmill getting over there behind you there, Kyle?
That thing, man, my wife uses that. I bought that thing for $50 from a neighbor down the street, and I do all my stuff outside. I refuse to get on a treadmill inside.
I mean, mine's just got all kinds of shit on it.
Yeah.
Obviously, like most treadmills.
Yeah, if I do get on it, man, I've got a 50-pound weight vest that I put on. I'll put it on an incline. I'll put it on an incline and walk a mile. Like I've got a ruck or something.
Yeah, dude. I tell you what, man, the incline walking, that's where it's at.
Or working for Naval Special Warfare for 14 years, like you develop a different mindset on strength and conditioning and how you should be living life and how you should train and all that stuff. So anyway,
I'm just gonna say if shit goes down, I'm heading east.
Yeah,
your
Kyle's house. Matt and Jerry,
Kyle,
I think we got a long ways to go.
Yeah.
I'm a big Jocko fan. You know Jocko at all? Have you ever heard of him? Anybody know him?
Jocko Wilming takes a picture of his watch every morning. Yep.
Yeah, at fucking 4:30. I'll tell you what, his book, Extreme Ownership, I read that about like 10 years too late. And I wish I would have had that book when I was in high school. Like that Extreme Ownership, I couldn't recommend that book enough.
Yeah.
That fucking book is awesome.
Oh yeah. It's good stuff, man.
Awesome. When you said that, I thought you said I like tacos. I was like,
I also like tacos too.
I was like, hey, yeah, me too. All right. Next we got Rutgers at Indiana. Have we picked this one yet? I'm totally off base. That looks delicious.
And he's poured it in a cup.
Oh, classy dude.
Gotta let it breathe.
Yeah, that's true. I like it. It goes down smoother, I feel like, when you drink it out of a cup, too. Matt, who do you got? Rutgers at Indiana.
No, I'm all sorts of out of
I
whack
know.
here.
I know, me too. Indiana's favored by 7 in this one.
Yeah, so man, these teams were identical down the line when I was looking. Indiana does allow more points per game. And Rutgers, I feel like Rutgers, man, they got some good things going. Their record may not indicate that, but it seems like they've been in some games they probably shouldn't have been. They played Michigan really close. I'm gonna take Rutgers on this one. I mean, even if they lose by a field goal, I'm gonna take them.
All right,
with the points.
Oh, guys, an empty bottle.
It's a long way from Tuesday from here, Pat.
Hey, I'm off tomorrow for Veterans Day.
Attaboy.
Which doesn't make any sense. Like, why the fuck? Why do I have to get off? Why am I off of work for Veterans Day? The veterans should be off.
I'm not.
I should be fucking working. Right?
Yeah.
Like if a veteran wants to go to the bank tomorrow, they can't fucking go to the bank because I'm not working. Because of Veterans Day. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
Just give all the veterans the day off. Make my fat ass work. Like I don't understand. I don't understand why I have Veterans Day off. The veterans should have it off. Not my fucking dumbass.
Right. And 90% of the people that are off for Veterans Day probably aren't observing Veterans Day.
Yeah, they're just staying up late doing a podcast, getting drunk in their fucking garage.
Pat, when I was working for the military, man, we would actually, because we were training guys, like you couldn't take like a day off in the middle of the week just for a holiday, so we would actually continue to work and push through on Veterans Day, and then we would take what they call a 96er. So they would take a Friday and a Monday off to help celebrate the long weekend, and we would just program for our guys accordingly. Yeah, 96ers were nice, man.
Yeah.
Is that similar to a Niner?
They should have called them 69ers.
Yeah. It was great. It was great, man. Those guys, the guys I worked with, man, it was, work hard, play hard.
Yeah.
And, if there was a holiday that fell on a Monday, we'd take a Friday off too. It was great.
Yeah.
Just so you know, my grandpa is a World War II veteran, so I have 100% respect for the veterans and anybody in the military. Really, I have a lot of friends in the military.
Yeah, man. My father-in-law was a Vietnam. My father-in-law was a Vietnam vet and got heavy exposure to Agent Orange.
Oh wow!
He had prostate cancer. Like he's getting it. Yeah, it was pretty bad stuff. But
yeah, it's not good.
He was in the Air Force for 20 years, and he was the guy that would load the missiles onto the helicopters and planes to go drop them.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty cool shit.
Jeez, that is cool.
Hey, also today, Marine Corps birthday.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Cheers.
Yeah.
Number 5.
Amen to that.
Brother served in the Marines. Good man. Better
Nice.
man than me.
That's awesome.
Pat, before your football career took off, weren't you you were heading for the military, weren't you? Before the football thing took off at North.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have any money to go to college. Didn't get good grades, so that was for me. My brother served. My dad was in the Army. That's what I was going to do. I mean, college was never even thought about college ever. You just don't go to college. You go to the military, and then you fucking figure it out. That's what I always thought, but I don't know. You just trick. Yeah, I tricked one guy at Iowa and gave me a scholarship. Just got to fool one person.
Hey, and you, like you said before when you talked to us, you got the grades figured out, and everybody has that moment where it kind of clicks and like, oh crap, I got to get going here, and you did. So that's all it takes, man. All right, where are we at, Kyle? Kyle, are you up? Kyle, I think Rutgers at Indiana. Indiana favored by 7.
Indiana, I'm going to take Indiana on this. I'm not familiar with Rutgers, and plus I got a really good buddy of mine that I was working with in the military who played. I don't know if I told you guys this. He's Kenny Kendall. He's number 92. he played at Indiana when I played at Iowa, and him and I didn't realize until like a year working together. He never even mentioned it that he played for Indiana. Yeah, he came like millimeters away from blocking almost every field goal and extra point that I had, and we became good friends. He's actually on the Chicago SWAT team now.
Oh wow!
So cool. I'm gonna pull for Indiana, man.
All right, Pat, who you taking in this one? Rutgers at Indiana. Indiana favored by 7.
I will go Indiana, obviously, because they support the troops. All my kids were born in Indiana except for one. So I like Indiana. It's a great state. Indiana's a fucking awesome place to live. And they got the Indy 500, which is cool.
Yeah.
Those are my only reasons.
I will say from the times I've been to Indianapolis is one of the most underrated cities in America. I freaking love Indy. That is a fun town. It's a nice town. There's a lot to do there. I like it there. And I know, Pat, I think you said you liked it there quite a bit too.
Yeah, until they fired me. I really liked it. No, Indy was cool, man. It was a good stuff.
Oh, I love it, dude. You're the best. All right, Mr. Jerry, where are we at on this one? What are you thinking, Rutgers to Indiana?
Considering how long ago this question started, they may have played by now. So let me check ESPN.com for a second. Anyway, I'm going with the Fighting Schianos. I think he's building something, and Indiana's just struggled all year. So, and I'm sorry, I should have been pressured into the patriotic pick of Indiana after Pat's comments. I can't bow to peer pressure twice in a row. So.
All right. I got to respect it. Jerry standing on his own 2 feet here.
And his Toyota.
And his Toyota.
Rutgers is the birthplace of college football. I keep hearing him talk about it at these retirement centers. So, maybe that's going to influence me a little bit. So,
well, most of the people you're hanging out there were probably there at the very first college football game.
Oh, a lot of Colgate fans. So, yeah, exactly.
All right. I'm going to hell for that one. Okay. The next one, we have 6-3, the Purdue Spoilermakers, as we call them, upsetting everyone left and right at Ohio State, Matt. Ohio State's 8-1. They've looked very beatable lately. Here's your stat of the day on this game, which I was shocked at. Purdue, in the last 8 meetings, is 4-4 against Ohio State. Never would have thought that. So, Matt, who you taking in this one? We got Ohio State favored by 20.
Yeah, I'm taking Purdue with the points on this one. It's a pretty easy decision. The Purdue's defense has been playing really well. Ohio State's defense, their pass defense has struggled on a lot of occasions, and Purdue, they're going to air it out. Can Ohio State stop David Bell? I don't know if they can or not, but also on the other side of it, can Purdue's D slow down Ohio's offense, which is rolling as well? So I think it's going to be a lot closer than 20 points. I'm not sure how Ohio State's getting 20.5 on this coming off of all those Purdue wins, but with those points, I'm taking Purdue all day on this one.
All right, we're going to go to Mr. Kyle Schlicher, who is absolutely not in love with the Ohio State University. Kyle, I don't want to piss you off here. I'm going to be rooting for Ohio State in this one because it's better for us if Purdue loses. So who you taking in this one, though? What are your thoughts? Ohio State favored by 20.
See, I think that's just because it's Ohio State, and that's one thing that pisses me off when I talk to Ohio State fans. Like they just Ohio State's on the same level as Michigan as me, and it's not because we did beat Ohio State in my years of playing. We never beat Michigan, so I have more hatred towards Michigan. But I played high school football against Kyle Orton back in the day, and so him and I were the same. Well, he was a year ahead of me, but. And even though Purdue is a terrible place to play, I mean, I remember getting bottles thrown on me.
Yeah.
You're super close to the fans. The field was shit, and being a kicker, like I need everything to be, okay with the grass. And I remember they had just put down new sod. It was bullshit. But anyway, never missed a field goal there. So, and never lost. So fuck those guys.
All right.
But, I'm going to take Purdue, man, because they're on a roll, and it was incredible to see them play this last weekend. and do what they did. And Ohio State can go to hell too. So
Kyle, did you ever hear? I don't remember. Did we offer Kyle Orton, or what ended up happening with that? How did we let him out of Iowa?
You know what? I just remember him coming out of nowhere. He played for Southeast Polk, and they never did well. He ended up going to like this Nike training camp, and then all of a sudden, that's how Southeast Polk, his high school team sucked, so he must have done really well at this Nike training camp, and then he just blew up, man. Like, it was crazy to see. And I don't even know if Iowa offered him, man. I don't even know how many offers he got, but he chose Purdue. I think he was he wanted to follow the who. I'm trying to think.
They've had like Drew Brees.
Yeah, Drew Brees. Yeah. That was Drew Brees. Yeah. He might have just been a fan of that, and I'll never forget playing against Purdue and watching Matt Roth plow over their kicker after he missed a field goal. That was great. It's in one of the highlight videos. That was always a big fear of mine, having a big mongrel like him sneak around the corner and take me out.
Oh man!
When I saw it happen right in front of me on the sidelines, like, that was an incredible feeling to watch that happen.
Matt Roth was a machine. He was fun to watch. Speaking of machines, Kid Rock, Mr. Pat Anger, who you taking in this one? We got Purdue at Ohio State. Ohio State favored by 20. This one's going to be on ABC. He's thinking about it for a minute.
Money this year.
Betting
on them to put the spread, which they haven't. So I'm going cover.
All right. So you're taking Ohio State to cover the spread?
Can you guys hear me here? I keep cutting out.
You're good now. You were cutting out there for a sec, but you're good now.
Now you're cutting back out again.
All right. It's all good. Well, he jumped out. He'll probably hop back in. Jerry, who you taking in this one? We got Purdue again at Ohio State.
Yeah, I'm taking, Purdue beat, they beat Iowa and then they fell the following week, and I'm just going to go off history. I think I'm taking Ohio State here, and, Ohio State played a little closer run last week than what I think they anticipated, and I don't know. I just think Purdue's kind of one of those hot and cold teams this year, so I'm going to go with Ohio State on this one. And I don't know if Kyle Orton probably never got offered by Iowa, but I think his first or second year with the Bears, there was some photos of him and his glorious neckbeard partying in downtown Iowa City. So I remember right, go back and check that history out. But.
All right.
Sorry, guys.
No, it's all good, man. It happens to us all the time. Who did you say, Pat, now in this Purdue Ohio State one? I want to make sure we got it right from you.
I'm taking Purdue because Ohio State doesn't cover. They cost me a shit ton of money. I think like all my parlays last weekend was Ohio State minus, like it was a 14.5 or something like that.
Okay.
Those bastards.
You can never trust
Get you every time.
Oh, sons of bitches. Yeah.
And like we said, their fans are the worst. So sorry, we got a friend of the show, Mike Wheeler. He's a good dude. He's an Ohio State fan. We don't like most of the rest of them though. So, all right,
dude,
the last one,
real quick.
Yes,
I've got a guy in my neighborhood. He's an Ohio State fan. He dresses like Jim Tressel every single game day. It is so annoying.
Wow.
Tressel was at Indy. He was at Indy when I was there. I think it was after they kicked him out of college or whatever. I really liked him. He was really cool. Yeah, he's a good dude.
He's a great guy.
He was probably very humble after he got kicked out of Ohio State.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the poor guy, he just didn't rat his players out, so you can't. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
And they were selling team memorabilia, which is, I don't know, is that kind of legal now or not? I mean, they did, would it be okay? It still wouldn't be okay now, right?
I think you can now, right?
I don't think you can sell team memorabilia still. It's just promotion off of your name, image, and likeness is all.
like Kofi Coburn, the center for Illinois, got suspended the first 3 games of the year for selling team memorabilia this year. So that's still frowned upon. But Jim Tressel was always known as being a player's coach. Like his players loved him, and he really had a good connection with his guys. And but Ohio State, it's a shady culture. I mean, give them 7 or 8 years, they're going to be on probation. I mean, it continually happens every year. But like Pat said, Jim is he's a good guy. So everybody I've talked to likes him.
I'm surprised he hasn't like emerged from some college football team. Like, where is he at?
He's at Youngstown, right?
I think he's the president at either Youngstown State or like Kent State, one of those schools out there. He's a president of a college.
So Jim Tressel hired Bo Pelini. That's awesome.
I'm sure he signed off.
If he's at Youngstown State, he took Bo Pelini after he got fired from Nebraska. That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, Tressel. Yeah.
So Pat, tell me you at least took him out on the sideline once after that 09 when they beat you guys at the end of 09 in the Vandenberg game, didn't you?
Did I take him out?
Didn't you give Tressel a little nudge or something on the sideline for that 09 game?
No shit, no. I played like shit that game, so I had no business pushing anyone. Yeah.
Been a lot cooler if you did.
Yeah, no shit, right? I just remember who was the quarterback? Who was the 09 quarterback that year? What the fuck's his name? He was really good.
I can see his face, right? Not Troy Smith, was it?
Terrell Pryor.
Yeah.
He was like 9 feet tall and ran like a 4.2, fastest person in the world. I don't know why that guy's still not playing the NFL. He was the tallest, fastest person of all time. It's like trying to tackle an avatar. Like the dude was unbelievable. And you got me, I'm fucking 5'10" and fat from fucking Iowa. I'm like, what the hell am I gonna do?
Hey, nothing
Throw a
wrong
hay bale at him.
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit.
That's just weight from corn and beer. So you're all good, man. Be un-American to be skinny growing up in Iowa. All right, guys. We got one left here. We got Maryland. 5-4. They're going to Michigan State, who just got their first loss from Purdue. This one's going to be on Fox. Got Michigan State favored by 13 in this one. Mel Tucker, he's human. He lost a game. Who are you taking in this one?
Mel Tucker is human. He did lose a game. I feel a little bit sorry for Maryland. I think they're going to be the battering post of this game. I think Michigan easily covers the spread. I looked at a lot of numbers, and it kind of just took me to MSU. There was a lot of even numbers, a few things that stuck out to me. But I mean, in the end, it was Michigan State. I think is going to bounce back from that, and Maryland has been down all year. So,
all right, Kyle, we want you to pick this one and break it down on the treadmill as you're walking. We want you to give us an action pick. I'm totally kidding. Who do you got in this one, Kyle? Maryland at Michigan State.
Man, I got to go with Michigan State. I mean, even though they lost to Purdue, I mean that was, I feel that they're on such a roll. That was a bit of a fluke for them. Purdue's doing well, but Michigan State's going to come back. Michigan State, that's kind of a tough place to play as well. I actually never played at Michigan State. I traveled as a backup kicker with Kading. I think it was in 03. Yeah, 02 or 03. I can't remember what it was. Yeah, can you believe that? I never actually played at Michigan State the rest of my career. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, I'm going with Michigan State, man. I don't know much about Maryland. I think it's still crazy that they're part of the Big Ten. It just blows my mind every time I think about it. So, yeah, I'm going with Michigan State, man.
Kyle, I told you when we went the first time we played at Maryland, Matt and I made the trip out there and we flew out, and none of the fans acted like they even knew there was a football game. And I had multiple people come up to me and point at the Tiger Hawk on my quarter zip and be like, what team is that? Like, where are you from? And I said, you got to be freaking kidding me. Like, get me the hell out of here. Pat, Who do you got in this one? 5-4 Maryland. Kyle still thinks they should be in the ACC. Makes more sense to me. At Michigan State, 8-1. What are you thinking, Pat?
I'll take Michigan State to cover. I played with like 3 Maryland guys in the league, and they're all idiots. So also played with a couple of Michigan State guys. A couple of them were idiots too. Yeah, we'll go Michigan State.
I gotta say, out of every place in the Big Ten, Jerry, that we've been to, we've kind of really noted Maryland's our least favorite. Not a lot of fun. Even the Saturday after the game, we didn't even go out in Maryland. We went to DC and went sightseeing. So that tells you how bad it was that we didn't want to go out and drink beer after that. So Jerry, who you taking in this one?
Well, the only defense as bad as Northwestern's in the conference is Maryland, so I'm going to go with Michigan State on the rebound this week. So,
all right. Well,
sweet.
Yeah, you boys got anything fun going on this weekend for games? Or you guys everybody just hanging at home and watching football and having some drinks?
Well, I'm a real estate agent, so I've got open houses.
Oh,
but I was going to say, kick Maryland out of the Big Ten and replace them with Notre Dame. We need to push Notre Dame into a conference, and I think they would not do well in our conference.
So, guys, going back to Michigan State real quick, what did you guys think of D'Antonio when he coached there? I mean, you talk about a guy that didn't look like he was real likable just from a viewpoint. What were you guys' impressions of D'Antonio when you played there?
Honestly, for me, what I respected about them is we knew what they were going to do offensively. Mm-hmm. And they knew what we were going to do defensively. And they said, very similar to Wisconsin. It's like everyone knows what they're going to do. And hey, you're going to line up and you're going to fucking beat us. Or we're going to line up and, get our ass kicked, one or the other. So, yeah, I mean, I respect the fact that there's no trick stuff, nothing crazy. I'm going to line up and it's going to be a fight. I always love playing Michigan State, especially as a linebacker who's slow and shitty. They're going to run the ball. Like I liked it. I always thought he ran the program very similar to Iowa as far as just toughness and stuff like that. And I know obviously he let some people off, get away with some stuff. So I don't know. I liked playing them because it was fucking inside zone, outside zone, power, and I'd like to play against that. So I respected it. I respected their toughness. I know some people probably would disagree.
Defenses.
Yeah. I thought their defense sucked. I mean, you look back at our, when we beat them on the last second touchdown with Rick to McNutt. I mean, why would their defensive coordinator call blitz there? It makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
I mean, literally they blitzed everybody and the corners were man. It made no fucking sense to call that. But yeah, I don't know. I guess
I called that McNutt slant.
Yeah. Why would they blitz everyone? I just don't. Let's just sit everyone.
I saw McNutt lining up one-on-one on the edge, and I'm like, McNutt slant. It's gonna be open.
Yeah.
All I was thinking was like, because they scored that touchdown on that long. I think they went 4 verts, and all I was thinking was like, God, I hope that wasn't my fault. I was like, I think I had my guy, but I'm like, was that the guy that caught it? And I'm like, I'm not sure. But thankfully, it wasn't.
Thank God.
Before we let you guys go, I want to get your thoughts super quick on Nebraska firing pretty much their whole offensive staff. That they're giving Frost another year, restructured his contract, kind of like what they did with Harbaugh. His buyout's way less, but they fired pretty much the whole entire offensive staff. Now, Kyle and Pat, kind of let us know, I guess from a fan perspective, I have no clue who the hell's going to be coaching the offense for the rest of the season.
Well, I think that this, and I know, you guys aren't going to be, I'm not saying I have a soft spot for Nebraska at all. I'm just saying that I think that as fans of football, too many times we forget that there's a system that is in place on the inside, and we only see what happens on the outside. We only see what happens on the field. So whatever's happening on the inside of that program, whoever's in charge must really trust Scott Frost, and for him to fire his entire, to make all those changes. I think that that speaks volumes in their trust in him, and there's something going on the inside that whatever it is or whatever's been happening, I'm not pointing fingers at all, but I don't think it's all. Unfortunately, Scott Frost and the head coach has to take the brunt, the hit for it. But I think it's pretty incredible that they're giving him another year, and that they also made these changes. But when I saw that, I immediately thought, okay, that means there's something going on the interior that none of us know about. And two of our strength coaches, Pat, I don't know if you remember, Dobson and Clark, went to go work for Nebraska. And when they did that, I was kind of rooting for Nebraska a little bit here and there.
Same here.
But at the same time, I think it'll be interesting to see. It's rare that Nebraska does this. Usually they just clean house and bring in a new guy and think that that's going to fix everything. But I'm also a big fan of, like, hey, you know what? Trust the guy that's there. Let him develop his system. How long has Scott Frost been there, by the way?
I think 4 years.
He's in his 4th season.
He's in his 4th season. Yeah, well, I mean, with football, it's a little bit different. I would say
Look
5
how
years.
deep their program has dug a hole. I mean, who else are they going to get to come there to that program if they fire another coach?
Sometimes you need to go through this to get better, man. Sometimes you need to have this rut. You need to have this. It's kind of like the Miami Hurricanes. I kind of want to talk to you guys about last week.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need this, man, to rebound. And this is going to happen to all teams that we know of. Ohio State. It's going to happen to all these sexy teams. So anyway, that's my take.
No, I like it. That was really well said and really insightful. Pat, do you have any thoughts on that at all?
Yeah, I didn't even know that was going on, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't know. So who did he fire?
The offensive coordinator, the quarterbacks coach. I mean, Jerry, who else was there? It was like 4 or 5 guys. Like almost the whole offensive side of
from the offensive coordinator down about 4 spots.
Yeah.
I'm kind of
obviously. I mean,
I'm kind of in the same boat as Pat because I got caught up in some personal stuff this week. But was there any special teams coaches involved in that?
I don't think so.
No, not that I'm aware of. Although their special teams is terrible too.
And I apologize, Pat. I kind of took over there, but I mean that's kind of the surprising thing, though, is because there was a stat last week that said that Nebraska was top 20 defense, top 30 offense, but the special teams between the field goal kicking, all the misses with Culp, they've had so many of those and so many miscues. I guess I was kind of surprised to hear that it's the offensive staff that's taking the hit. I really figured it'd probably be in some other phases, but
yeah. Well,
did you guys see the video of that guy that was like a reporter, or Kakert sent it to me? The guy he's a Nebraska reporter or something. He's on the sideline, and he goes on this crazy tangent. You guys didn't hear that? See that?
I did. I saw that.
He goes at the end. He goes, "Fuck." He goes, "There is no hope. Fuck everything. Go Big Red." It's gold.
It's been about 3 weeks ago now, yeah.
That should be the new team slogan.
Oh man, that's awesome.
There is
I remember. Everything. Obviously there is some Iowa connection. There are some Iowa guys on staff. I don't know, maybe anymore, maybe they're not. Guys that played at Iowa they're at Nebraska. But I do remember when they started, because some of the coaches were from UNI, and I remember one of my buddies who was a college coach was talking to one of them, and basically said that most, like 90% of the kids that were on campus when Scott Frost got there couldn't even play at a UNI or anywhere. So I don't know. I mean, they didn't have a lot to work with from the beginning.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily their fault. Obviously, I thought that they would be doing a little bit better by now. But yeah, there wasn't a lot to work with when I got there.
Yeah.
So if I could ask real quick, guys, Frost's infamous at his press conference when he got hired was, he was at the Big Ten rep to adjust to their plans. When you look at what he did at Oregon and UCF, I mean, what were your guys' thoughts about how that would translate into the Big Ten? Did you see that? Because I think right now he's finding out that they got to be hitting the weight room way harder than what they thought initially, and the strength and conditioning. But what were your guys' thoughts on that style of play coming into the Big Ten?
I mean, obviously strength and conditioning is important, and how you outwork your opponent is what determines the difference. It determines the difference between victory and defeat. But also team chemistry, man. Like if you don't have everyone on the same page doing the same, executing the same system and plan, I mean, it's just not going to work. If you don't have players out there that don't have any belief, or that they all don't have the same belief in what is actually being ran. I mean, I think that again, I was just a kicker, but at the same time, I paid attention to a lot of stuff. I actually watched a lot of other film other than just kicking. And I listened to the coaches, man. I listened to what they were saying about opponents and stuff. And, I really gained a lot of insight on the dynamic of what goes into playing a football game and executing plays and executing a system. And I just think that when things break down and you don't have success, I think there's just a lot more to it than just the play calling. I mean, you could have those players on the field that don't trust anything that the coach is saying whatsoever. At the same time, you could have all those players on the field that, there could be one or two guys that aren't executing their job, and it throws the entire execution off.
All right.
So,
All right.
I don't know if that answers it, but
no, it does. Nobody had anything to follow. I was just totally zoned in on what you were saying, and I'm like,
I know. I'll say this 100 times, 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times. I was just a kicker, but with that, I had a lot of time to sit back and just watch and observe and learn and just watch the great players that I was with and watch the coaches that I was with. I really absorbed quite a bit, and I just happened to be that guy that when called upon, I'd go out and kick a field goal and help out.
Yeah.
And that that's something that honestly, I've noticed kickers and punters is they're able to take a step back and see the full picture.
Yeah.
As opposed to I don't know, linebacker, I'm just seeing the defense and I'm just seeing that. And I feel like kickers in general and punters have a better understanding, and obviously long snappers too. They have a better understanding of the game because they are able to sit back and see everything. You're in all the meetings. You're talking to everybody at practice. And I still don't understand why you guys have to get to practice a fucking hour before to kick for an hour. And then the PAT field goal is at the end of practice, which makes no fucking sense.
I know.
I still, and everybody does it. I still don't understand it. But yeah, no, I really do. I mean, even, McAfee, Vinatieri, Mossbrook or Murray, all these guys, all these guys, I feel like you guys have a really good understanding of coaching. I feel like kickers transition they would transition to being a coach a lot better than I would. And I mean, when I fucking coached my my fourth grader, their third and fourth grade team, and I'm just just fucking tackle the guy. It's not that hard.
Yeah. Well, you got to keep in mind, I grew up a soccer player. I had no clue.
Hey, same here, dude.
Yeah. I grew up not even knowing where Iowa City was on a map. And so when all this happened and all this started, when I got to Iowa, all I wanted to do was be known for why I was there. I wanted to and by doing that, I knew that I had to listen to the coaches. I had to learn from the players that have been there before me. I had to sit back, earn my spot, and sit there. And, I learned a lot from just watching some of the veteran players, man, that were on the team. And I learned their habits, what they were doing, how, I tried to be the first one in watching film right after practice and the last one to leave right before study hall, and I tried to, it helped staying in Nate Kading's pocket for the first 2 years, because I got to see how he prepared himself. But, having guys like Chad Greenway and, Marshall Yonda and, even Dallas Clark and Bob Sanders, those guys had a huge impact on my freshman year and really kind of set the tone on just how you should be acting, how you should be preparing, how you should want to leave the jersey in a better place when you leave. And yeah, man, I mean, I'm not going to claim I'm an expert at football at all, but I did sit back and watch, and I absorbed quite a bit. So maybe that's another conversation for some Buffalo Trace.
It's a lot of star power you just named off there.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that New Zealand All Blacks quote, leave the jersey in a better place. That's good.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's a hell of a book.
Awesome.
No, stuff gets me fired up. Love it. All right, boys. Hey, thank you so much for coming on the Swarm the 402 podcast, Pat, Kyle, and as always, Matt and Jerry. Guys, it was a ton of fun. Thanks for taking time out of your guys' busy schedules. I know you guys got a lot going on. So, Pat,
I don't have to work tomorrow because of Veterans Day. Which, like I said, makes no sense. I should be fucking working.
Just because of you, Pat, I'm gonna take the day off tomorrow too.
The veterans should have the day off, and I should be I should be able to do whatever they want.
Yeah, well, I agree.
I don't get it, man.
Well,
fucking bullshit.
It's a crazy world we're living.
We need to be doing more for those guys too, for everything that they've done for us. So, I mean, we don't do enough as it is, and we need to continually step that up as much as we can all the time. So, all right.
Schlicher looks great. Can we talk for just like 5 minutes about how good Kyle looks?
Hey, look, it kind of pisses me off sometimes. He looks like a damn male model. It's ridiculous.
My wife sees this, she's fucking leaving me. Like, and she, I think she's got one leg out the door. You know what I'm saying?
Oh God. My wife has never
Thanks.
seen that, so I'm okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Who am I kidding? Who am I kidding? My wife isn't watching this. So.
Oh, can you blame her? All right, boys. Well, hey, let's go feel bad about ourselves because Kyle's so much better looking than us, you jerk. All right, guys. We'll talk to you later, guys. Thanks for coming on. Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Good stuff.
Thanks.
Pat, good to see you again, bud.
Love you guys.
See you guys.
See ya.